All right, everyone, it's your boy Gene, G Squared Tactical. I think it's good for every influencer, no matter what they're promoting. I think it's good for them to take time occasionally to tell the people that watch them, that trust them, where they're at, where they're standing with things, how they see things moving forward in the future, and to have these types of conversations that we're going to be having today. And yes, the title of the video is why you can't trust 60% of what you see on YouTube. But before we get into talking about that, let me just say this, that there's nothing more important in your existence. I say this every single time, but I mean it every single time. It's not just cliche. It's not something I'm saying to hear myself talk or to check some box. It's what I know to be true and believe with all of my heart, that you need to know Jesus Christ as your Savior. If you don't know, please take care of that, because the wages of sin is death. And unless you accept the payment for your sin, which is the shed blood of Jesus Christ, there is no hope. And so make sure you know that. If you don't know, ask me how you can know. I'd be more than happy to share that with you. If maybe you have given Jesus your soul and maybe you're just kind of in a bad place, hey, he's always there waiting for you. Come on back. He forgives you 1,000 times a day if that's what it needs be. And so we should, kind of learn to do the same. But speaking of that, on that topic, with running an HVAC company, having another grandchild, we'll now have 3 grandchildren in less than 2 years. Um, obviously, church, and coming out here and doing these videos, the shooting, the editing, the ammunition, the research, the going out and buying, all of that stuff is taking up a ton of my time, not to mention a ton of my finances. And so sometimes, yes, I do come out here and I just kind of, sit in the woods and listen to the animals and the birds and kind of meditate, read my Bible, pray, smoke a cigar every now and then. We all have a couple of bad habits, probably. I enjoy a cigar every day. It's just one of my bad habits. But for the most part, I'm out here shooting, filming, trying to get the best content that I'm capable of providing for you guys. And it's taking up a ton of my time, right? But the thing that's taking up the most time is trying to not be a prick and just completely ignore the people in the comment section. And I just want you to know, especially the ones that's been with me for a long time now, that I will read, and I do read every one of the comments, good, bad, or indifferent. I read them all. But if you just get a thumbs up on your comment and you don't get a response, please don't be offended by that. I read it, I appreciate it, but it's starting to take up way more time than it should, and it's taking time away from, I don't allow it to take time away from my family or shooting or my business or anything, but it's taking time away from God, and I've got to try to scale that back a little bit. So if you ask a very direct question about it, where'd you get that optic plate, something like that, I'll do my best to answer that. But for the most part, I'm just going to give you a thumbs up. If I don't like what you said, yeah, I might give you a thumbs down. I don't know. Don't be offended. But either way, to get on to the topic of why it is that I feel like you can't trust 60% of what you see on YouTube, across any platform, but mostly with the gun related stuff. I get invited each year to this event that takes place down in South Carolina. I believe PSA puts it on, and there's occasionally will be um, influencers down there. And I grew up watching some of these guys, so I want to pick their brain, like, give me some advice. What should I do? What should I not do? And then I ask them some questions. Well, why don't you ever do videos like this? Or why don't you ever do videos like that? Or why is it that every video you put up, it's always good reviews? Why is there nothing negative? And consistently across the board, the advice that I got was not to do comparison videos with controversial brands like Springfield, Glock, there's Taurus, a lot of the budget-friendly stuff, you know, our RIA and stuff like that. And I said, well, why? Why not do that? He said, well, because the people that like those brands are so rabid about it, they're not going to accept your opinion. They're going to see your opinion as you dogging their brand. Even if you never did, even if you said this is a great firearm, but this one is better. That's my opinion. I like this one better. They're going to come at you, and you're going to lose subscribers. It's going to hold your channel down. You know, it's going to push you down because they'll come in, they'll sub up, and then they see you put up something. Maybe you had a bad experience with a gun brand they like a lot, and they'll just completely unsubscribe from you. And I know that that's true because I've seen something recently, and I will not name by name. I will not name out other gun tubers, but this one gun tuber had something negative to say about a gun that I just recently reviewed and gave rave reviews to because I believe it deserved rave reviews. And a ton of people has came over, subscribed, just left, just, you know, like I said, rolled the red carpet out, and just all best reviews on YouTube, yada yada yada. And then they come in, I unsubscribe from that idiot. He don't know what he's talking about the other gun tuber, because he made some comments about um, the machining or having bad machining inside of the guns. You know, maybe they could have paid more attention to that. Maybe some workmanship problems down inside the gun or whatever. And so, was he being truthful about that? Well, yeah, of course. But he never said anything terrible about the gun on the range. The gun performed, it shot. He could have put up, he could have made it fail and continued his narrative, but he did not. He put up a good review about the gun overall. He just mentioned some areas that he thought there might be some quality issues. And I can't tell you the number of people that have commented in the comment section, said they were unsubscribing from his channel. And not just that, they attacked him, name calling, idiot, don't know what he's talking about, and all this other stuff. And the gun tubers told me, the ones I've watched, grew up for years watching, that they avoid that. And even one of them told me, again, I'll leave unnamed, that if he gets a gun and he has a bad experience, if the gun was sent to him, he will reach out to the manufacturer, have them to send him another one, right? So until he gets one that performs well, so that he's not technically lying, the one he's got performed well, but he don't want to put up a negative review about that particular firearm. You know what? That is bad for you guys. That is bad, bad, bad for you guys, right? When I go and I look at reviews, I go all the way down to the 1-star reviews. They say, well, why would you do that? There's 4,642 5 stars. Why would you look at the 100 1-stars? Well, for one reason, because I want to know what happened that they gave a 1-star. If it had something to do with shipping, if it had something to do with damage to the box, like, okay, well, that's the shipper, you know. I'm not paying that any attention. But if there seems to be a consistent theme through those 100, where they are all complaining and having the same issue, there might be something there, okay? And it might be enough to deter me from buying that product. So I want to know that, you know. Yes, if there's 100 good reviews on YouTube, yeah, I want to see those too, but I also want to see the what ifs. Well, this guy had this going on. I'm not going to go over there and find that guy, and because I like that CZ, or I like the Taurus, or I like Glock, or HEK, or whatever it might be, this dude's an idiot. I've had CZ. I got one that I shoot the lug nuts out of a John Deere tractor at 100 yards. It'll do that to this day with one eye closed. I've put 44,632 rounds through it, grossly exaggerating how many rounds they put through something. That's one of the biggest things that's happened in the comment section. It's almost comical, right? And okay, man, that is wonderful. That's great. I believe you. I'm not discrediting you and your experience. I'm glad that was your experience, but that wasn't my experience. And do you not want to hear if there is a potential problem, right? The same thing with the Nocturne, the CZ Nocturne and the P09. the F and the C. I had great experience with the gun. I actually freaking love the gun. I carry the C a lot, right? I have it with me today. And I was going to do a comparison between it and the Echelon Compact because someone asked. But I was extremely hesitant. And here's why. Because I know that Springfield Armory boys, Springfield fanboys are for real, right? Because I can already tell you that I like CZ. I'm a huge CZ fan, right? And I've already shot both of these guns a lot. Now, shooting them side by side and actually doing a comparison side by side, I may actually pick the Springfield. In fact, I might actually be leaning more towards picking the Springfield, not because it's better, but it may be better suited for carry. I don't know. I don't know till I actually sit down and start doing the comparison, and I decide in that moment. But there is a chance that I may pick the CZ Nocturne, the P09C Nocturne, and I know if I do, one, I'm just going to watch the subscribers start falling off, right? So you're attacking and you're pulling down 2A content, 2A supporters, and the more you do that, you're causing those people to fall off. Like, this is not worth it, you know? I have to reach a certain plateau to be relevant on YouTube, to be able to get sponsors and support, and it not cost me an arm and a leg, and hope for the best and hope for a wash out of this whole thing. And they just decide to give it up. I know two people that gave up, and one of them I know personally just gave it up for that very reason. And so what you're doing is you're playing right into that narrative that YouTube is already trying their best to tear down 2A content, right? And you're just playing right into it. The 2A community gets enough attacks from the left-wing nuts without people that are supposedly 2A supporters attacking someone because of their experience and because of what happened. Like, listen, take it for what it is. So if someone has very, very obvious bias and you can see it in their attitude, in their face, okay, that's one thing. But if a man has a bad experience with a gun, or if a man prefers a gun over another one that you don't, it's fine to disagree with that man from your personal experiences, but it's not okay, in my opinion, to attack and tear down and unsubscribe from his channel because you don't agree with what that man's opinion is. Because there's tons of people that do agree with him. Still throw him your support, throw him your thumbs up, share his content, subscribe to his channel, and promote 2A content on YouTube, because I know for an absolute fact, I know that there are guns that YouTubers, popular YouTubers that you watch, have gotten bad guns, sent them back to the manufacturer until they got one that worked, so that they didn't have to put up a bad review on a gun that they knew people would be rabid about and attack them over. And do you know how many subscribers I lost because of my experience with the Shield Plus carry comp? I mean, the rear sight broke in half and flew off, right? I had an issue with it locking back because when you pull the trigger, the slide lock would move up, right? Same thing happened on my M&P 2.0. I mean, these are legitimate, real things that happen. Received a 2.0 M&P with the front sight turned backwards, right? The white dot was pointing down range, right? These are real problems, QC issues that I had, but because I made the monumental mistake of reporting it so that you could know, I lost subscribers. I got called names. You hillbilly redneck, you married, you divorced your cousin to marry your sister. I mean, on and on and on, for one reason and one reason only, because I said something negative that was true about an inanimate object. So I had to lose subscribers. Caused me to really step back and think, do I want to continue to keep doing this and running 3,000 or 4,000 rounds downrange a month, costing me a small fortune, when I could just come out here and enjoy myself, smoke my cigar, read my Bible and pray, and run 600 rounds downrange a month and save the rest of the money to eat a steak dinner and go get another gun. It's really made me think that, right? Listen, I promise you, you have my word before God, that I am never going to trash a gun Just like I didn't trash the GX2. I'm not a Taurus fan. I don't carry a Taurus. And to my knowledge, I've never carried a Taurus other than maybe a little 605 pocket revolver. I've never carried a Taurus on my person for self-defense. But that was a great gun. Almost 2,000 rounds now, running it through the mud and the snow and the dirt. The gun was great. The gun done great. And I highly recommended it to anyone that was in their price range. I promise you, I'm not ever going to intentionally trash a gun. If the gun fails me and I prove that it's not me, that it's not my ammunition, but it is the gun, I'm going to report that. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it, I'm going to report that. Because I want you to trust me. I want you to trust the products that I recommend. And for the guys that asked, one guy asked if I could shoot the Mark 23 suppressed. I'm going to do that. And for the guys that asked if I could do a comparison between the P09C Nocturne and the Echelon Compact, I'm going to do that as well. But remember, it's my opinion, my experience. You can agree with it or you cannot agree with it, and we can all be respectful about it in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry I rambled a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of put this out there. Like, stop tearing down and attacking people that you don't agree with in the 2A community and unsubscribing from their channels and attacking them, because all you are doing is making it to where you won't or cannot trust what you see on YouTube, because those reviews have been they've been fixed. They've been fixed because they know it's what you want to hear. If something is wrong, you want to know about it, because at the end of the day, you're talking about something that you defend your life and your family's life with. So don't attack and tear down other 2A supporters. Support your gun channels. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe. It's the best way you can help them. Check me out on Patreon. $5 a month. Super thanks. Go to gsquaredtactical.com. Hit on the 3 lines in the corner. Pop down. Support the channel. You can donate to me directly through there. That's where I get the most of the money. And again, as always, thanks so much for watching, and to God be the glory.